Right, boys and girls, this video is for all the stations out there. I live in a very noisy area. QRM reaches £7 sometimes. Today it's about £3. So I've decided, by the way, credits of this video go to East London stations. Lee from Heathway, Keith from Canning Town, then myself. With a bit of research, we found this model that you can use in any radio, I think. A few kits you can buy online for £20, build yourself. But they don't actually have RF sense. They use PTT control. A few of them they say connect to PA. Ignore that. It's, most of them they're radio AMs, and in radio AM terms, PA doesn't mean public address. It means power amplifier system. Yeah. So PA will be the final circuit on the final transistors. Right, this one, it's called QRM Eliminator X Phase. It came from Ukraine. I couldn't find nothing in the UK. It's a shame because for what I've seen in videos on YouTube, it can help people with me, like loads of QRM. Specs, right, runs on 13 volts, from 13 to let me have a look. Yeah, 13 to 15. I'm actually not providing 13 volts. I'm providing 12.4. I can prove that. It's connected to one of my power supplies on a temporary setup. Who builds them as you know, a bit of brain, because he's using black cables. If you don't have, if you need glasses, you know, you cannot see the red strip along the black cable. So he puts an heat shrink, red heat shrink on the positive. So good idea of the actual manufacturer. I think who manufactures these, they're radio AMs. People got time to build these kind of things. You can search online and you can find kits and boxes and buttons and whatever. It's up to you to Google it and search. I'm only providing a bit of information because I've never worked with one of these machines. It's going to be the first time. Like I said, I'm aware of it because of two East London stations. So with a bit of research, I've managed to find one that works with any CB radio. And when I mean with any CB radio, it works with any HF set also. Okay, I'll explain how in a minute. Right, the setup is I'm gonna drive it with on 1 watt to prove that you know, you can drive this and the RF sense will sense it even on 1 watt. It's plugged to it says on the back radio. Okay, so the middle PL258 is the radio antenna. Main antenna, it's the one on the left. Yeah, sorry for showing you what is written upside down. The one on the right of the video is the listening antenna or secondary antenna or auxiliary antenna. There's a socket in there. It says PTT control. That's to connect to HF sets. if you don't know how to connect it to your HF set, it's simple. A few HF sets, they have a DIMM plug to plug linears. The values the values that that socket needs is continuous ground and intermittent ground. Intermittent ground or TX ground. So you know it's you check with the multimeter on the DINs and check if the signal is ground. How do you check that? Right. If you know how to use a multimeter, you'll put it on DC voltage. Place. Do not use amperage reading. You will short out. Use DC voltage reading. Use the red leg of the multimeter in your power supply positive, and the black leg you'll search on the pins pressing the PTT if you get ground. Continuous ground you can make it in the chassis, but the DIMMs also provide ground, and that's the same for all X phases or QRM eliminators to control them. This is an update version. I bought it because on the description it said updated version included RF sense. To be honest, I've sent an email to the person that he was selling it, and using a Russian translator, Google Translate, he sent me back a message in English. But the question that I've asked him, can I use this on a Lincoln since it has RF sense? Can I use it only plugging the coax cable without the PTT control or PA control? And he replied, yes, plug all, use the Vox on your Lincoln too. So you know, it was a bit risky for me, but you know, I never give up. This is the main antenna. I'm gonna drive it, so it's not very good to generate RF power without a load or a connection to the antenna. This one I'm not gonna plug in because it's only used on receive. So I'm gonna show you that this can actually be used on any 11 meter radio, CB, whatever you got at home. Okay, I'm gonna power it up. Sorry, yes, it's got power, so it should be in listening mode. Okay. Using the PTT, I'm gonna give one burst on the PTT in transmission. I'm gonna use 1 watt only. Okay. Because I'm still testing the machine. I don't know how safe is the RF sense, how much input can I put through it, and to be honest, to contact the seller on translation, something gets lost on translation. So we're gonna look at the lights. I'm gonna short burst from the PTT. Yes. 1 watt will not damage this kind of machines, okay? If you try to drive it with 25, probably you will if it doesn't have RF sense. And now you can check, look, it goes transmission mode and reception mode, okay? How do these machines work? Well, I will try to explain you, but I cannot really understand. It's my first time using it, but well, what I could research and understand is controlling the gain on 2 antennas, 1 and 2, the main one and the secondary. You'll adjust the gain of 2 antennas, the main antenna and the secondary antenna, to listen for signal. To get the best performance out of this, you'll have to have 2 antennas with equal gain receiving the same amount of signal. Tomorrow I'm going to try it with a homemade dipole. It doesn't have a lot of gain. I'm going to place it in a place high and try it. I just would like you guys to know that this exists, and you don't need an HF set. It works on HF sets, CB radios, whatever, without PTT control or whatever. Tomorrow I'll try the Vox because when this was on the way, I've bought 2.5 mil mono jack, plugged it into the back of the Lincoln at the back. I think I've got the plug here, and it's a mono jack. I've opened the jack and plugged it to the Vox, and the values that I got, pay attention again, using a multimeter, DC reading, red on the power supply, and I'm not gonna disassemble the jack. I'm just gonna explain it to you how it's done. With this plug-it in, I thought that he was gonna cancel the main mic, the front mic. He didn't, even though President states on the manual, user manual, that plugging the Vox at the back, you will cancel immediately the main mic. He didn't. After I placed a multimeter on it, the pins at the back of the jack, the middle one read intermittent or TX ground, or if you press the PTT reads ground, and the outside reads constant ground. So you can actually get the same values from let's just say an HF set that has a DIMM plug for to connect linears and the actual Lincoln. Advice is how to buy one of them built kits to build for £20. Well, I would say if you know how to work with the multimeter, you can always get TX ground and ground from the chassis, TX ground from the power amplifier circuit, well, the circuit that drives the the final transistors. I wouldn't advise you if you're not an expert in electronics, or you got a bit of knowledge, because if you touch something inside and you short something inside, you'll end up causing damage to the radio. I don't need to open my radio. Is just an advice if you don't have Vox, or if you buy. This is for if you want to buy one of them £20 kits to build. I don't think they're worth it, to be honest. After you buy a box, buttons, 259 chassis mounts and whatever, it all adds up. I work, I don't have time to build things, so I bought one already made. I think who makes this is somebody, you know, connected to the radio amateur, or to is a radio am, so you know, I'll leave it to them to build these kind of things. Right, what does this actually do? To get the best performance out of this, you need to have two equal antennas with the same amount of received signal, and phase one signal against each other. Will it reduce the amount of signal on the station? Yes. If you got one of the antennas receives less signal, of course you'll have to lower the gain for the other antenna. If you got, like I said, to get the maximum performance and the maximum signal of stations, you'll have to have, if not two equal antennas at the same height, but two antennas with the same gain. Can it be used on my project? You know, a kilowatt mobile station. Yes, you can. You can go underneath. I can pass the cables in there. Why to use an X phase on a mobile station? Well, there's loads of people with antrons and mobile antennas that like to go up to the hills on a noisy day, you can work with these machines. If you're using an Antron on a pole, basically you serve or you use your mobile antenna, the long whip, whatever you're using, as a listening antenna, as an auxiliary antenna, and you use the Antron for transmission. Okay. Right, and that's it. I would like to show you the effects of using this, but I don't think there's somebody on the radio. Let me have a look. No, but basically I'm gonna show you a signal of noise. Okay, today I've got like 5. Some channels is 3, some channels is 5. Maximum that I get here is 9. It depends on the days, but most of the times is 7. Let me lower the sound. I'm gonna work the primary antenna because I've only got the back antenna connected to the main antenna connected, and I'm gonna work the gain. The gain is at the maximum, so this will get rid of the QRM. Yeah, but it always it will eliminate or lower the signal of a station. Okay, what I'm saying is what I said in the beginning. To get the best performance out of this, you'll have to have 2 equal strength signals, both on primary antenna or auxiliary antenna. Tomorrow I'll make myself an antenna, and I'll try it. I haven't got big steps to put one on the roof. I'm gonna try one made out of copper pipe, which is or even a cable dipole, coax dipole. It doesn't need to be something expensive, because the people who build them and sell them put on the description you can use it with a bit of wire in a shed on top of a shelf. So the thing is, to get the maximum performance out of one of these devices, you'll have to have equal gain on two antennas, so the similar signal on 2 antennas, and so you don't have to lower the gain on one to put the 2 signals at the same level. What I would like to say more, nothing much more. Tested and proven that it works on a radio with no PTT control, just by sensing the RF transmission. This is the model. Came from Ukraine. You can find them in Poland and Russia. Like I said, it's a shame that they don't actually sell this product in the UK. I think you can still find Wemo QRM eliminators in second hand in radio shops. You can find also, I think is JSF, not sure, but look online for, I think they're called noise reducer, JSF or JFS, a noise reducer, 200 and odd pounds. A bit more expensive than this, but I think they do the same. Not sure how they work, because to be honest, I'm gonna try this because it's usable at home and on a mobile setup if I decide to put a mast with an Antron and do a bit of DXing, through the country. And that's it for now. If you want updates, I'll try to post updates on a few Facebook pages. Don't go into forums, so if you want to share the video on a forum, please do so. I don't find loads of videos about connecting this to our transmission equipment. If you want to translate the video or whatever, do whatever you want to do. And that's it. I'm trying to transmit a bit of knowledge that I've managed to gather. Like I said, rating 73 for these two stations. Credits go through from this video and the next trials to three East London stations: Keith from Canning Town, Lee Heathway, and myself, okay, Rui from Dagenham. Thank you.